DBs.
Yes, sir.
Where are you going?
My biggest winner, I mean,
You've got like a ton of these.
Throw a dart. Throw a dart at this cornerback class. And we've raved about how good this corner class is and that it's one of the best I've seen, one of the deepest at minimum. Maybe I don't think I'd put any one prospect in the realm of what I put Sauce and Stingley last year. I think those were two special prospects that are probably a little bit above even, Devon Witherspoon, who's CB1 PFS board this year. But there were probably then about 5 or 6 guys who are then right in that tier after them as prospects that are just like damn good. And they showed it at the combine. Whether it's Deonte Banks, who went like 4.35 with a 42-inch vertical and 11.4 broad jump at 197 pounds. Just an all-time athlete at that size. Cam Smith, I thought really helped himself with his times. He probably came in with more question marks about his athleticism than anyone of the top corners in this draft class. And 4.43 is nothing like special, but I thought that was a good time for him. But then the explosive drills, he went 38-inch vertical, 11.2 broad jump. Those are great figures for a guy that people maybe were trying to move to the slot. Well, shit, I think he can play outside still. Julius Brents from Kansas State, over 11-foot broad, one of the best broads, one of the best verticals of anyone in attendance, and has like 34-inch arms. Box sticker. That's a great number for him. He's probably going middle day 2 now. Joey Porter, 34-inch arms, runs in the 4.4s. I thought he was going to be a 4.5s guy. Great for him.
Yeah.
And then so the corner class, just those guys, again, pretty much any single one who tested probably did themselves some favors.
My biggest winner was Christian Gonzalez from Oregon. Would he have been in your winners
list
if I had stolen him?
Yeah.
So obviously his workout numbers are kind of crazy, right? He measures in 6'1", 197 pounds, 4.38, so under 4.4, 1.54 10-yard split. That's really fast. 41.5-inch vertical, over 11 feet in the broad jump. Like, those are insane, elite, explosive numbers. But when you get to the drills as well, there were 2 people, I think, that stood out during the entire week for me, where they embodied the word smooth and fluid as an athlete. Like, they just move with zero effort. And that was Christian Gonzalez. Even when you just watch him run his 40, there were some guys out there. What's the TCU's quarterback's name? Max Duggan. Max Duggan looked like Ryan Fitzpatrick trying to run a 40, right? The guy's life force was being spent on that 40-yard dash. That took 5 years off his life. Like, running that 40 ended that guy's life prematurely by 5 years. Christian Gonzalez looked like nothing. Like, zero effort was put into that. And I mean that in a good way. Like, it didn't faze him. He was just able to glide down that 40 and run under 4.4 flat. And every single drill was the same way. Like, there was zero wasted movement. It was smooth. It was easy. It was fluid. There's something about those athletes where if you're just able to move like that and make that kind of stuff look easy, I think that's a good sign. And he was the guy that stood out for me on the DB side of things.
Yeah, he really did. I think what the craziest number, though, of any of the corners that I saw came from Travius Hodges-Tomlinson, who an 11-foot broad jump, it wasn't like an elite number by corner standards.
When you're 5'9",
but
it is.
5'8". He's 5'8". When you're 5'8", like Deuce Vaughn had like a 9-something-7 broad jump.
Right.
Because just like when you're small, your legs don't go as far out in front of you. To be 5'8", to fly 11 feet, almost, like 2 of your bodies through the air is insane. It's insane. So that number, so Travis Hodges-Tomlinson helped himself as well.
What about losers for DBs?
Okay. Losers for DBs. I think the safety class. Now, I think Quan Martin, Sidney Brown, the 2 Illinois DBs, 2 Illinois safeties, Quan more of slot, Sidney more of like versatile dude. They helped themselves. They put up great explosive numbers, but pretty much everyone else who tested. Brian Branch ran slow, although I don't think that changed anything. I didn't think he was ever fast. But Jair Brown ran really slow in the 4.6s. Christopher Smith, the Georgia safety, who's like billed for his range, ran in the 4.6s. Antonio Johnson had a really bad vertical, really bad broad jump for a guy who's kind of supposed to be an explosive player around the line of scrimmage. Jamie Robinson also ran slow, high 4.5s, nothing impressive, 33.5-inch vertical, 9.8 broad jump. Like, none of those guys were athletic, which is a little concerning and kind of backs up that this is not a banner safety class by any means.
Yeah, I think we'll probably talk about this a little bit in certain specific cases. But generally, one of the important things from the combine is like not to double count the athleticism, sort of the revealing of the true athleticism using these sort of numbers. If there's a guy that you already knew was not athletic, you don't like double count the fact that he's now proven to be not athletic. You already know this. This was just reaffirming what we already thought. Similarly, if you knew a guy was an incredible athlete, the fact that he then proves it with the numbers, don't double count it. You already knew the guy was special. It doesn't increase the importance that is. It's just reaffirming what you thought one way or the other. And then the flip side of that is the guys where I think it's most important are the ones where it's different to either what you thought or what you needed to see, given a certain body type or size or whatever. So Nolan Smith needed to have that kind of workout because you knew he was that small. So one of the losers for the DBs for me is Clark Phillips, the Utah corner, who, 5'9", 185-ish, 4'5", 40 is not good when you're that small. The 10-yard split was pretty good, but 33-inch vertical isn't great. 4.32 short shuttle isn't good. Like, these are times and numbers that you need to be better if you're going to be that kind of size working against, NFL wide receivers.
Yes, there's just not a strong track record. He said, undersized and unathletic.
Yeah, that's
and
a problem.
So I had worries about his tape already because his size was an issue. I mean, I thought it showed up at times. Like, he'd be at the catch point, be in good position, and just there's nothing you can do when you're 5'9", 180 a lot of times. So I worried about that. And then to go the time he did, there's just not again, like I said, not a strong track record of slower and undersized corners sticking on the outside. So it's probably a slot, which I don't think it matters nearly as much there. And it's not like a derogatory thing in today's NFL to be like, oh, he's just a slot.
Right.
But once you're taking things off a guy's plate, right, that he can do from a prospect perspective, you're just limiting, kind of pigeonholing yourself into like, oh, he has to be good at this one thing or else I have no options.